MousePlanet took a road trip to Azusa, California to get a sneak peek at the Destination Cars Land float, which will appear in the Pasadena Tournament of Roses parade on New Year's Day. We also had a chance to chat with float designer Bradley Kay, who explained the inspiration behind this year's entry.
Cars Land Float is a kiss. It's a tribute to the land of Cars Land at Disney California Adventure. We started this probably mid-July, August, and we want to come up with a tribute, a loving just touch of what Cars Land is all about as it goes down the street.
Disney turned to artistic entertainment services to help bring this concept to life. Owner Craig Bogosky told us his company also built Disney's last 3 Rose Parade floats, including the record-breaking Tower of Terror float in 2004. AES also created some of the elements seen in the new Cars Land at Disney California Adventure, including Red the Fire Truck and DJ the Ultimate Party Car. Using computer models provided by Disney and Pixar, and even reference photos from Cars Land, AES constructed a custom 2-section chassis to bring Cars Land to Colorado Boulevard. While Disney's float won't set any size records this year, the Cars Land float is still impressively large.
It's 120 feet in length, not including Mater, who follows behind having a great old time celebrating the holiday. We are 18 feet wide. We go up to 40 feet high at the back with a Cadillac range. The float has over 45 points of animation.
The float includes moving recreations of 3 Cars Land attractions. Along with a miniature version of Radiator Springs Racers, you'll also see people riding replicas of Mater's Junkyard Jamboree and Luigi's Flying Tires.
We have all of Radiator Springs Racers. There are 4 different locations on the float where we have the racers racing around, including the finish line. The Junkyard Jamboree vehicle goes back and forth like on the attraction, and the Luigi's tire tips and spins. It's amazing how energetic it is. There's not, within every 5 feet, there's something moving. And when you see it all together, it really is mind-blowing.
The final phase of float construction is Deco Week, where hundreds of volunteers gather to cover every visible square inch of the float in natural materials. A wide variety of dry materials were needed just to recreate the desert landscape of the Cadillac Range. Just like in Cars Land, the attention to detail here is incredible. This one small section is shaded with 8 different materials, including lettuce seed, crushed walnut, orange and brown lentils, golden and brown flaxseed, and brown and white millet. Dry materials aren't just limited to seeds and beans. The desert cacti are decorated with eucalyptus leaves, and palm husks cover the wooden fences around the float. Decorators even applied sheets of seaweed to the tread of Luigi's Flying Tire. While most of the decorators work on the main float, others gather in corners around the float barn to perform specialized tasks. Here, decorators use yellow straw flower and white coconut to replicate the neon lights of the Cozy Cone Motel. In the fresh flower room, volunteers prepare roses, sunflowers, and orchids by placing each stem in a vial with water. The fresh flowers are some of the last decor elements to be placed on the floats, often just minutes before judging so they look their very best. These volunteers are using brushes and sponges to make sure that even the inside of the Radiator Springs Racer vehicles are covered with onion and lettuce seeds. The most exacting work is performed by the detail team, volunteers with as much as 30 years' experience in decorating Rose Parade floats. This team is responsible for getting Lightning McQueen ready for his Rose Parade debut, painstakingly recreating every decal and decoration. The detail team is also responsible for the Welcome to Cars Land postcard that appears on the front of the float, as well as the floral signs around the float. Decorators will work right up to the last second to make sure that every seed and petal is in place for the New Year's parade, which starts at 8 a.m. California time on New Year's Day.
We wanted to do a true classic Rose Parade float. I grew up out here watching the Rose Parade with everybody else as a kid through high school. And so I know what it's about, and I want to keep that alive.
If you'd like to see the Cars Land float in person, the float will be on display during the post-parade viewing on January 1st and 2nd in Pasadena. Visit the Tournament of Roses website for directions and ticket information. On behalf of MousePlanet.com, we wish you a safe and happy New Year's.